Welcome everybody, and today we're taking a look at a brand new Radiance Films box set. So I've been a massive fan of Radiance Films' box sets in the past. There's only been really one that I sort of didn't. But still, this is World Noir and Volume 2. So I was a massive fan of the first box set. Found all three films to be at least 4-star worthy. And yeah, it's more of the same for this one, to be honest. So yeah, this artwork is from the third film, or inspired by the third film, and then those are the three films that we're going to be looking at today. So the first film is 1961's Black Gravel. So this is from Germany, being a World Noir box set. Each film is from a different country, and yeah, in the previous box set we had Japan, France, and I think Italy. So yeah, this is from Germany, so we've not had a German World Noir one yet, and yeah, it's directed by Helmut Kuntner, who I've not seen anything else from before, unfortunately, but if I can get to see out another one of his films, I definitely will be after seeing this. Clock's in at 114 minutes long. I've unfortunately not seen anything from the cast before. So Sonan is a town built on vice for the occupying American forces in Cold War Germany. Robert, a local truck driver who sells off gravel from the site he works on as a side hustle, runs into an old flame called Inga. Inga is now respectably married to American officer John, who runs the site. Driving in Robert's truck, tragedy strikes, and he and Inga must do their best to cover up a pair of dead bodies. Now, this is a dark, character-based film noir that shows the hideous consequences that can result from an accident that is covered up, all the while balancing that plot point with thematic weight and the reality for so many in post-war Germany, as this is obviously not set even 2 decades after World War II. The cast, although unknown to me, is nonetheless great. It is well paced. The cinematography is excellent. The plot is predominantly engrossing. It has some effective tension, and even though you can kind of see where certain aspects of the plot are going, the ending is nonetheless suitable given what preceded it. So, yeah, an overall excellent film. 4 stars out of 5 from me. And in terms of extras, we've got on the disc, which, as you can see, is printed in that kind of burgundy color, I guess you could say. Has on the disc, it's got a 2K restoration by the Friedrich Wilhelm Murnau Stiftung. I don't know who that is, but it's presented on Blu-ray for the first time in the UK. All of these, by the way, are on the Blu-ray for the first time in the UK at least. Original uncompressed mono PCM audio includes both the uncensored original cut at 114 minutes long and the re-edited distribution cut at 113 minutes long, which also features an alternate ending. I can't for the life of me think that alternate ending is going to be better than the ending we had in the premiere cut, so I'd stick with that one. It's only a minute longer, but it definitely is worth it. We've got audio commentary with film historian Olaf Moeller. Then we got, which is from 2020. We've got new interview with writer and programmer Margaret Duries from 2024, clocking in at 19 minutes long. Newsreel footage from the film set featuring behind the scenes images and an interview with the director. That's from 1960, clocking in at 4 minutes long. And then we've got the trailer, as well as obviously optional English subtitles and reversible sleeve artwork as well. So that is the reversible sleeve artwork. It's pretty good, to be honest. I like the fact that it's remarkably different to that one, rather than trying to ape on the original's artwork, which, you know, is never a good thing. I'd rather have a completely original new artwork rather than, rehashing what has been done before. I'm just trying to get that back in so we can look at it later. Right, there we go. So, second film is from 1963, and it is a Symphony for a Massacre. I dropped the third film on the floor by accident. Yeah, Symphony for a Massacre from 1963. This is a French film. So we had a French film in the second box set, which was also the first box set, which was also the second film in that box set. And it's directed by Jacques Deray, who I've unfortunately also never seen anything else from before, although I have added a ton of his films on my watch list since seeing this film. Clock's in at 110 minutes long, and unlike the previous film, I have actually seen a couple of cast members in films before. It's got Michelle Claire, or Michelle Auclair even, who was in The Day of the Jackal, and Claude Dauphin, who was in the likes of The Full Treatment and Deported. So this film features five gangsters who raise the cash to buy a large shipment of drugs, which they plan to sell on. One of the gang, however, plans to secretly rob his partners, which begins an escalating spiral of violence and deception that leaves a trail of bodies across France. So, this is another excellent French film noir, especially in terms of film noir, in terms of black and white, which is thanks to its plot, which unfolds in a methodical and highly engaging manner that features double crosses and misunderstandings that culminate in an ending that is incredibly satisfying due to those two elements. The cast is also great. The cinematography is absolutely fantastic. The pacing is on point. The tension is really effective. The character interactions are well executed, and I love the score. So yeah, it's mostly about the methodical way that the plot unfolds. Really, that is what sells this film for me, because yeah, it does execute it to perfection, and yeah, with that ending, it just makes it all the more better. So yeah, 4K restoration of this film by Pathé, which, like I said again, is presented on Blu-ray for the first time in the UK. Original non-compressed mono PCM audio. New audio commentary by critic Travis Woods from 2024. New introduction by critic Christina Newland from 2024, clocking in at 15 minutes long. Archival interview with cast members Charles Vanel, Jean Rochefort, and director Jacques Deray. That's from 1963, clocking at 5 minutes long. Optional English subtitles, and again a reversible sleeve artwork. I think these are all these reversible sleeve artworks are trying to keep it in keeping with the general theme of being quite dark, because these films are not really light and frilly in any kind of way, to be honest. They're easily some of the more darker film noirs that I've seen, which isn't to say that, Western film noirs or, American film noirs weren't, dark in some regards. There certainly was a dark one starring Burt Lancaster called Crisscross, which, yeah, has a suitably dark ending. But yeah, that's an excellent film. 4.5 stars out of 5, just like I gave the French film in the first box set. And yeah, absolutely superb. And finally, we have from 1964, Cruel Gun Story. So this is directed by Takumi Furukawa from Japan. Clocks in at 86 minutes long. Stars Joe Shishido, who was in the likes of Detective Bureau 2-3, Go to Hell Bastards. Fantastic title, but not quite as fantastic film. And Massacre Gun. So Tagawa is released from prison early by his underworld bosses. They make him execute a daring heist on an armoured vehicle, knowing he has no choice to do it as he needs the money for his sister's surgery, who got hurt in an accident that he blames himself for. With multiple partners and facets to the operation, much is at risk and all is never as it seems. So, although I feel this could have easily benefited from a longer running time to flesh out certain aspects a little more, as the final act in general does feel a little slightly rushed, this was nonetheless an engrossing effort that uses a heist as a launching pad for betrayal and violence. The cinematography is also on point, the action scenes are handled really rather well, the cast is mostly good, the plot doesn't shy away from the consequences of being involved in crime, and the production is solid. So, yeah, another 4-star out of 5 film, to be honest. It's not quite as good as the previous film, but quite frankly, it is slightly better than the other Japanese effort that we got in the previous box set. So, on the whole, I do feel that this box set is slightly better than the previous one, which isn't to say that that one was bad at all. Again, I gave two of those films 4 out of 5 and one 4.5 out of 5, which is the same as this. But on the whole, I feel the two 4 stars out of 5 films are just marginally better than the two in the other box set. We also get a really rather nice. Oh wait, the action's on the Japanese film. So yeah, get a nice blue color disc there. And yeah, high definition digital transfer of this film presented on Blu-ray again for the first time in the world. So not just the UK, that's the world one. Surprised it's not been released in Japan at the very least. Original uncompressed mono PCM audio. Then we have audio commentary by author and filmmaker Jasper Sharp from 2024. New introduction even by critic and programmer Tony Raines from 2024, clocking in at 21 minutes long. Visual essay by Japanese cinema expert Hayley Scanlon on Nikatatsu's noir films of the 1960s from 2024, clocking at 12 minutes long. archival interview with actor Joe Shishido from 2006, clocking at 9 minutes long, optional English subtitles, and again, reversible artwork. As you can see, it's again keeping black and white theme with a red title, which I really rather like, to be honest. So yeah, then we also get a booklet as well with this, which again I'll show you once I get the sleeve back in. There we go. So that is from the second film, Symphony for a Massacre, and so is that one, just in case you were wondering. So yeah, really nice thick booklet on this. Again, printed beautifully as per usual when it comes to Radiance films. And inside we've got your cast and crew for each of the 3 films, each film for each of the films even. And then we got the 1960s, The Death of Noir from 2024 by David Herring. Anti-German, Black Gravel's Long Road to Acceptance from 2024 by Carmen Gray. And that's because there were a couple of scenes in there that certain people in the public, certain members of the public took offence to, because they thought it was glorifying or accepting certain types of racism, but it really wasn't, and it certainly doesn't come across that way in this film as far as I'm concerned. So that's why it had a little bit of a rocky ride in terms of getting released, and that's why there's a minute being cut out in the alternative cut on the disc. And then we got Trucksploitation Noir from 2024 by Martin Waits. A World I Know Well, The Criminal Life and Work of Jose Giovanni from 2024 by Elena Lazik. Then an interview with Jacques Deray from 1987. Cheeky Devil, The Legacy of Joe Shishido from 2024 by Jake Cole, and then transfer notes and credits. So yeah, you get a whole host of extras in this booklet, like shots from the films, posters. There, therefore I recognise there. Yeah. So it references other films, you know, more like American noirs. That's actually a fairly good film, that Murder by Contract. But yeah, shots from the films as well. So that's from the final film, Cruel Gun Story. And yeah, also goes through all of the transfer notes as well. So it's definitely Symphony for a Massacre that seems to have had the most work done to it, but Black Gravel has also had a hell of a lot of work done to it as well, like moving Dirk and Specs, which were completed by Heavenly Movie Corporation. But yeah, Symphony for a Massacre is also presented in 2K from a 4K scan of the surviving 35mm into positives, as unfortunately the original negative was lost. Yeah, Cool Gun Stories has the least effort, but it still looks fairly good and doesn't have any sound issues. In fact, none of these films have any sound issues or any picture issues either. They all look great, all sound great, and yeah, they're all fantastic films that are well worth seeing. So yeah, if you like The World Noir Volume 1, then there's no reason I can see why you wouldn't like this one. And yeah, in terms of order of ones I like, it's Symphony for a Massacre, Cruel Gun Story, and then Black Gravel. It's really close between those two, to be honest. There's very little in between them. I think it's just because I found that a little bit more up my alley with the action and the violence, whereas this is a lot darker. But still, overall, 3 fantastic films and 3 films that are well worth the fact that we finally got them on Blu-ray for the first time in the UK in 2 respects, and the first time worldwide in another. So yeah, get out there and get this if you haven't already. But nonetheless, thank you for watching. I'd like to hear your thoughts on each of these 3 films if you've seen them, each of these films before if you've seen them already. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.